Hey guys, what's going on? This is WrestleBits back with you for this week of Raw, which is Monday, April 25th, 2022. And today we had Raw. And in this Raw, we got to celebrate Randy Orton. 20 years celebrating Randy Orton being in the ring. It's been 20 years. That's crazy. Randy Orton, he's been one of the best wrestlers in the ring and one of the greatest matches with Edge. One of the greatest matches, not the greatest match. He's an amazing in-ring competitor. I say he's a little bit different now. Teaming with Riddle, I say we are getting a calmer Randy Orton, but that's not to say that he has been venomous, almost Viper-like in the past, as he always has been. With this segment, it opened up with the highlight package of his 20-year career in the ring, and he talked about his career and how it's been, and he's going to stick around. So he hopes no one is, sick of his antics in the ring anytime soon. I'm not, despite where he's at anytime. I love watching Randy Orton in the ring. This is an amazing athlete right there. And Riddle told Randy Orton he had a surprise for him, and it was Cody Rhodes. Somehow he snuck and swiveled his little way in to Randy Orton's celebration. They call Randy Orton the Viper, but the true snake is Cody Rhodes, because somehow he was out there to try to tell Randy Orton how great he was. There was a hug. Everybody was happy. The heroes in the ring, right? Cody Rhodes, not trying to do anything, not trying to upstage once again, but he was, because after they hugged and after the moment, Seth Rollins, he's like, you can't trust Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is about Cody Rhodes, and has all been about Cody Rhodes. If I don't hear the word Cody coming out of Cody's mouth, it's Rhodes. And I love the Rhodes, but Cody is just all about Cody. And Seth Rollins knows that. So he called him out, and then Ezekiel comes in and rudely interrupts Seth Rollins talking. As always, Ezekiel, Elias, whatever you want to call him, he wants to get in and, of course, start talking and start getting everybody riled up, including me, including Kevin Owens, including all of you, because we know he's lying. Everything he says out of his mouth, how can we trust anything he says when he's a liar? It's been proven. Kevin Owens, he did the lie detector test. Sure, he passed, but he's going to find out. People are driving Kevin Owens crazy. And I feel really bad for Kevin Owens because he knows the truth. I know the truth. A lot of people out there know the truth. A lot of people, we believe you, Kevin Owens. But everybody's just listening to Ezekiel. And we know that's Elias. We've seen it. You break down segments of the face. Never mind. I don't need to get into all that. But that is Elias. But once that went off, Adam Pearce comes out. The Savior Adam Pearce. And he says that he booked an 8-man tag team match for that night. So that was the segment with that. At the end of that, it exploded. And of course, Randy Orton attacks everybody, and Kevin Owens and RKO's him. And there was multiple things going on. And now there's going to be a lot of friction. Thanks, Adam Pearce. Just caused a lot of problems between a lot of people's matches who are coming up, who need to be primed and ready for matches. And we're just going to push them all into this and have everybody happy, and Cody Rhodes once again. And instead of Seth Rollins, who made a point that he is the future and he is the one that will inspire people. They're not going to talk about the Ortons or the Cody Rhodeses or the Matt Riddles. We're not going to talk about. We're going to talk about Seth Rollins. And I was inspired just hearing him. Just hearing his voice, just hearing him speak. Seth Rollins is an inspiring man, inspiring individual, and he will inspire many around the world, including anybody listening right now. It's probably like, obviously Seth Rollins is the best right now. The way he is, he's got it. He knows, sneaking into people's minds. He understands what they're about. He calls it as he sees it. Seth freaking Rollins. Later on this night, too, we had Bianca Belair and Sonya Deville for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, I thought this was going to happen at Backlash, but apparently it's happening tonight on Raw. And that match, we saw Sonya Deville taking advantage of the situation, making all that she can out of it. And Bianca Belair is a very strong competitor. So she wanted this to end properly. Now, there was a time where she fell out of the ring, but she said she slipped, and we got to believe her. She's an official. She wouldn't lie about that. So she slipped. She wanted to fix that. So she restarted the match. And then there was another time where Bianca Belair, she was using a weapon. Her hair is a weapon. And Sonya Deville was just leveling the playing field, and she did by using a chair. And you got to do what you got to do. Now, this wasn't a no disqualification match, so the ref disqualified her, but that wasn't the way she wanted to end a match of that caliber. And I believe in that. Deville made the right choice. She said, no disqualifications. Now we're not going to stop it. But then Carmella and Queen Zelina came out, which I thought they had broke up, but maybe they made up. Maybe things changed. We don't know what went on backstage. There was obviously an argument between the two, but people worked things out. We saw Mandy and Rhea Ripley had worked things out one time. Hey, anybody can work things out, but they went in the ring and they were beating up Belair. But it's no disqualification. I don't know why they were upset or what they had against Belair, but they attacked her, and, that just helps Deville in her situation. However, she was able to fight off everyone, and she came out winning in that match. So I don't know what's going to happen from here. I don't know if Sonya Deville is going to have another rematch against Belair. I don't know how it's going to all happen going into Backlash, but I know Deville won't go down like that. It wasn't a disqualification, but I'm sure she wanted a straight-up match with Belair that she could have had, and she'll want another great match. So I'm sure we'll probably see more in the future from both of these competitors. Deville, though, is ready for it. She's hungry for it, and she has the position of authority, which in this particular case, I'm glad she had fixed everything in the match, because I wanted to see the match keep going. So let's see how that goes when that continues on from there. I know we got Backlash coming up real soon, so you never know what's going to happen. Then we had Veer Mahaan come out, and once again, he destroys his opponent. Veer Mahaan is on a roll. He's destroying everyone, putting him out on stretchers, putting him out on the announce tables, and putting him in the stretchers from there. He is hungry. He is ready. He's just... This is the entree right now. He's just taking out everything right now before the main meal. There's a lot of people up there, and he wants to show them. And one of the greatest ways to show them is with fear. Fear will make them think different. Fear will make them worry. And he's going in with that fear as a competitor. Veer Mahaan is somebody you got to watch out for. He's dangerous, and he's coming, and he's strong with every one of his moves. He defeated that guy in about 30 seconds with, now they're calling this the $1 Million Arm Clothesline. And that is the one that finished him and put him down. Easy win for Veer Mahaan. Veer Mahaan will be moving up quick. Everybody better watch out back there, because Veer Mahaan is coming. Then we had Omos and Bobby Lashley in the arm wrestling match, which, Omos, he is very, very strong. He's an imposing physical figure. He doesn't always have it all in the arms. I think Bobby's just keeping it all in the arms. However, reason I say this is because Omos, he was, gonna win Bobby Lashley in the arm wrestling match, but then, he got tired. Bobby Lashley pulled his arm off to the other side, and Bobby Lashley had won that. The thing about Omos is his strength is in his size and his physicality. It doesn't always prove anything in an arm wrestling match, who's stronger or not. Clearly, Omos was stronger. He could take advantage of Lashley. Lashley's a good, strong guy. He can pick things up. He can arm wrestle, but he can't beat Omos. Now, Omos was beaten before because he was new. He was coming in wrestling. He didn't have the guidance of MVP, who once again showed us at the beginning of this that he was the one who trained Bobby Lashley. He's the one that showed Bobby Lashley. Omos now has Bobby Lashley's ultimate weapon, which is MVP. 3 letters that could change the entirety of a match, because look where Bobby Lashley got. Before MVP, nobody was talking about Bobby Lashley. MVP came around, everybody was talking about Bobby Lashley. Now, the word Omos will echo in the reign of history once he defeats Bobby Lashley for good with MVP behind him. Then we had that crazy match. I thought it was like a marriage, but it's like a union of some kind that was going on last week when I believe it was Dana Brooke that won finally with the 24/7 title. Now R-Truth is saying that he's a couples therapist and had Tozawa, Tamina, Reggie, and Dana in a mixed tag match. And Tozawa and Tamina ended up winning that match. But at the end, people were trying to pin Dana Brooke. R-Truth himself pinned Dana Brooke and was trying to get the 1, 2, 3. Didn't quite get it. But he said that this is part of the therapy. Now, I could see where he's going, you know. He wants to see what's more important to Dana Brooke, her relationship or the title. That's an important step in any relationship. What are you willing to give up to be with the one you love? I saw the message R-Truth was trying to do. I saw what he was doing. It shows he's a great therapist. If he had took that 24/7 title and she was sad, she would have moved on and been happy with the one she loved. But what's more important to Dana Brooke? That 24/7 title, of course. And that is the splinter in the relationship. In all the relationships, the only thing that is left to do is if R-Truth took that title for himself to save everybody in the relationship. And that's important. And I think R-Truth should have it. He is the counselor we need. I think everybody should go to R-Truth for any type of counseling they need. If you need counseling today in your relationship, I think somehow you should get a hold of R-Truth. He will help you, 100% guaranteed. Then we had Becky Lynch coming back after all this time. Now, she was very sad coming to the ring. She said she's at her lowest point. She hasn't ever seen herself without the title. But now she's saying that this is a new beginning, a new time for all of us to see that big time Bex, she's coming back. She's going to make her comeback. She's going to make her glorious comeback, rise to the top. There's not going to be an opponent who can stop her on her rise to the top. This is a very positive way to look at it. Becky Lynch, she fell and she's rised again and risen time after time. And now she's going to do it again. However, this time the music hits and we hear from Asuka, who has been gone for so very, very, very long, it seems. I mean, she has been gone for this long. And I personally love seeing Asuka. She is one of the greatest competitors there. She was undefeated in NXT. She came to WWE. She proved herself time and time again against many of the top women in the company. She is one of the top women of the company as well. I was excited to see Asuka come back. However, this is supposed to be Becky Lynch's comeback. But now there's a huge obstacle in the way of Asuka. Asuka, the Dominator. And nobody is ever ready for Asuka. She gave a little flick of the nose. The disrespectful flick of the nose. Becky Lynch came back, but Asuka came out on top. She was in the ring. I cannot wait to see these two perform because every time we get matches from them, it's just golden. Golden matches. She did call her title. I remember in the middle of this, she said her precious. Like, is that like Lord of the Rings? Like Golem? Is that where we're going with that? You know, my precious. You know, I can't do the Golem. But that's her precious. That's what she wants, the one ring or the one belt to rule them all. And she is addicted to having this belt. I like this angle. The way Becky Lynch needs and thrives and must have that title. It's very reminiscent of the time Triple H was hungry for his title, and he wanted to keep his title no matter what. Nobody was going to get in his way, and he was desperately hanging on to it. When Stone Cold Steve Austin, at one point, when he was very paranoid to lose his title, to lose what he had, his love, his belt, and this is the same thing. I love this angle. I love the way it's going. I love how she is, how Becky Lynch is right now. I want to see that Becky Lynch unleashed, but Asuka is a very, very tough competitor to get through. I don't know, Becky. I don't know. This is crazy. Then we have AJ Styles and Damien Priest. Now, they've had a history before with the United States Championship. Now, it's just Damien Priest once Finn Balor. They already set their sights on AJ. They took out AJ. They're done with AJ. Edge and Damien Priest done with AJ. Now they want Finn Balor. They started going at each other relentlessly once the bell rang, back and forth. We saw Finn Balor getting hit with some powerful moves, the power bomb, and then he was trying to gain himself. Remember he hurt his neck last week, I believe. Yeah, last week his neck was all messed up, and he was still competing, and his neck still giving him problems this week. He was trying to get Damien Priest. He was trying to get a one-up on Priest, but he was about to do the finisher when Edge distracted him. I mean, Balor should have been focused on the match, but instead he was distracted by Edge when Priest, he capitalized on this with a huge choke slam, and he had his finisher after that for the win. And that's where it is. Priest is taking over. Priest is got the mentoring of Edge, and again, I talk about a mentor, just like MVP. Bobby, I'm looking at you. We have the mentor tutoring the student, strong student, hungry student. He's coming, and he's not going to stop. Who's he going to pick next? What does he want? What does Edge and Damien Priest want? And who else are they going to bring in? Or are they not? I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting to see what happens. Then we had our segment of Miz TV. Everybody loves Miz TV. On this particular Miz TV episode, we had Austin Theory. Now, he says he's not going to go by the name Austin anymore. Now he is just Theory. So no longer is it a theory that Theory is Theory. It is now a fact that Theory is Theory, if you follow me. Now, they were having their back and forth talking about all the things that they've accomplished when Mustafa Ali had showed up, and he interrupted these two great superstars. Now, both of them were wondering, are you still work here? Or are you the guy who took your ball and run? Mustafa has been gone for a while. I believe he wanted to leave, but he is back, and he is calling out Theory, and he wants to chase the United States Championship. That's a bad time, Mustafa. I mean, right now we got Theory, who is backed by Vince McMahon himself. Why would you want to challenge that much of a force coming back? However, Just Theory declined Mustafa Ali's advancement towards facing him for the title that night, as he doesn't need to. He doesn't feel like it. He doesn't want to. He just got the title. Let him enjoy his accomplishment for a while before we go throwing him into another match, or before he throws himself into another match. I mean, he has the choice of whether or not he wants to fight, and he chose nay. Now, Mustafa Ali is calling him out and everything, and he said, he wanted to book the match between Theory and Mustafa Ali, but Miz says he doesn't have a magical wand that he could just shake and make a match, but Theory does with Vince McMahon, so he booked a fight between Miz and Mustafa Ali, and the reason he did that is because he wants to fight Mustafa Ali. Don't get it wrong, he's not scared of Mustafa Ali. He wants to see what Mustafa Ali can bring to the table, see his repertoire, see his move set before he faces a man as Mustafa Ali. And who better than to do it with The Miz? Theory made a quick moment decision to have The Miz in there with Mustafa Ali, knowing that The Miz is a veteran and can do amazing things in the ring and bring out the best in an opponent. So he went up against Mustafa Ali. However, Mustafa Ali got the win by countering the figure four leg lock that The Miz was doing and pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. Now, you cannot blame Miz. I mean, we don't know what Mustafa Ali's been doing. Clearly, he's been training to be where he's at, to try to be a competitor, and he caught Miz by surprise. Miz wasn't ready for it. This is another Cody Rhodes and Rollins moment where he wasn't sure. He had the opponent right there out of nowhere, and he had no time to prepare. That's just what happened. Miz can be forgiven for a loss like this. Give him another time with preparation. He would have him ready in no time. But on this particular night, okay, I'll give it to Mustafa Ali. He won the match. So he was celebrating, and he got attacked by Tommaso Ciampa, and he is now on Raw. He's doing his thing. He's been in NXT forever, holding that title, holding that championship for the NXT. So he's ready to do some damage on Raw. Is Tommaso looking to get the U.S. championship as well? Is that why he showed up? And maybe even The Miz had this planned all along. He knew that Tommaso was going to be there to attack if anything happened. So maybe it was all planned. Who knows? Maybe they're all working together. Miz is a smart man, by the way, so he may have had this in his pocket the whole time. Then finally we had the Cody Rhodes, Ezekiel, and RKBro versus Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and the Usos. And what a match you could have had, minus Ezekiel being under his lying name, other than Elias. That match was just crazy. Huge brawls broke out. We had everybody just going everywhere, bodies flying back and forth. It was crazy. Moves after moves after moves. This whole tag team was just fun to watch. But of course, we all wanted to see the Usos and Kevin Owens, the great Kevin Owens, come out on top. And we wanted to see that liar Ezekiel be beat. But once they kind of held Randy Orton off and kept fighting in ring. They didn't want Randy Orton in the ring because he was the fresh one. He was the hyped one for his 20-year celebration. So clearly he's got a lot of adrenaline, a lot of energy going in. It's smart to try to cut him off from the ring. But once he did get in there, it was RKOs all over the place. He was so amped up. It really wasn't fair to the other team. The team of Kevin Owens, the Usos, and Seth Rollins. It wasn't their night of celebration. They didn't have the energy of the crowd. The crowd's always against them. And of course, all the happy people, the happy heroes in the ring, right? With Ezekiel, that lying macho man, ultimate warrior thing going on he's got with the tassels and trying to be the hero, coming in with Cody Rhodes and RK-Bro. Of course, everyone's behind them. Even Adam Pearce is behind them. We're punishing Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens and the Usos, who all have something to prove, so much. And they want it. They're just as hungry. Why were you pushing them? Because they want it more. Because they thrive for it more. They're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. Okay, fine. Yeah, let's boo the real good guys in the ring. The guy who wants to tell everyone the truth about this liar Ezekiel, Elias Ezekiel, whatever. I almost called him Ezekiel, whatever. Ezekiel. That's what his name should be. We want to join sides with him, or the guy who wants to make it all about himself, who wants to upstage all the other superstars. And Seth Rollins is just clearly trying to tell us that the dangers of Cody Rhodes, but we're not listening to that, are we? We're not listening at all. And of course, the Usos, who have everything to prove. They want to unify a title. They want to make history. They should be able to do that. They're the Usos. They have a strong bloodline. Now they are in the bloodline with Roman Reigns. This needs to happen. This unification needs to happen for the glory, for all the glory, for the bloodline, for the Samoan bloodline. That's what needs to happen. So, as great as this match was, I'm not happy that they had this match. Now that I think of as great as it was to watch all these competitors, these people needed to be fresh going into Backlash, and yet they put them in the ring with everybody who just wants to stop them. If they get injured, who cares, right? Who cares if they get injured? All the good guys are in the ring. I don't think that's right. But, however, it was a good night. It was a fun Raw to watch leading up into Backlash. Again, that women's title, I thought that was going to be at Backlash. But it was here. Are they going to have another one? I don't know. Crazy stuff is going on. Unification of titles. Everything's going nuts. And I love it. Leading up to Backlash, fresh off WrestleMania. It's been a fun ride. So those are all my thoughts on the Raw of this week of April 26, 2022. Please leave in the comments and let me know what you thought, how you felt. Let me know if you thought anything differently than me. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it regardless. And please give me a like and subscribe in order to know when I come live again. And I will see you guys later for SmackDown. Thanks for listening to WrestleBits, where hopefully you get all your bits of wrestling information. Take care, guys.